Alright, welcome back. In this series today we're going to go over things you can do while you're in ports. The excursions you can purchase on the ship, as well as some stuff you can do on your own if you're an experienced cruiser. Stay tuned.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I want.
Alright, so here we are. You just had a nice sea day. You're getting ready to dock in Nassau, and you're wondering what you can do. You've checked out your app. You've looked at some of the ship excursions that they offer. Maybe you picked one. Maybe you want to go explore, find some other things you can do on your own. So let's get started here. The goal of this video is to help you guys pick your excursions, other things that you can do if you don't find something fun or something interesting that you see on your ship app. We're here to help you and guide you along the way. So, first things first, if you're an unexperienced cruiser, this is your first one, maybe your second one, you haven't been on a ship many times, what I would recommend you to do, check out the excursions that your cruise line offers. The most important thing with that, if you purchase it through the ship, you get back late, they cannot leave you behind. If you go and do it on your own and you show up late, that ship may or may not be waiting for you. But if they are, they're going to be not too happy with you when you get back.
No, another thing to remember too is in the United States, sometimes you can sail without a passport, and you can sail with just a birth certificate only. That's one thing to definitely take into consideration when you're doing on your own. That if you're on your own, the ship leaves and you're now in a country without a passport, you're going to have a really rough time. It's not going to be a lot of fun. So something to take in consideration, especially when there's times that you can venture off on your own and be fine doing it. Just make sure that you're back on time, especially in those situations. You never want to book something that's a very, very long time on your own if you don't have a passport. That's a huge red flag, big concern. Make for a bad vacation. Huge,
because then you're going to eat the costs to get to the next port and catch up to the ship.
You're not getting to the next port if you don't have a passport. You're sitting in an embassy.
you're going to be in a lot of trouble there, and it's going to be tough. So yeah, definitely, if you are inexperienced, book through the cruise line. Get your feel for the ports. Get your way around. One thing that Carrie and I do whenever we go to a new port, we usually don't book anything.
No.
We go out and we explore, we see what's there, we get the lay of the land, we determine if we like that port or not. We get a general feel for safety. Mm-hmm. You know, like well before we were YouTubers, what was it, 2017, you and I went on our first cruise?
I don't remember.
And I was worried because we were going to San Juan, Puerto Rico. We were docking at 3 p.m. and we were there till midnight. I had been there, I'm not going to reveal my age, but 20-some years ago. And I was walking around in broad daylight, and there's guys sitting in the back of trucks twirling guns around like the Old West. And, you know, I was a little bit worried this time that, hey, we're going to be there at night. Maybe it's not going to be so safe. We need to be careful. It was absolutely safe. We had a great time. We stayed out till probably 10:30, 11 o'clock. We got some great pictures of the ship. It would have been nice if we were YouTubers back then because we'd had more content now to share.
And it's actually one of our places that we've had not been able to get back to yet.
Yeah, we want to get back
to. So next time, I don't know if we'll book an excursion again. We'll probably just go see the city again because we liked it that much. So there's so many walkable ports. That's some of the things, too. Obviously, YouTube's a great source for that. But there are some ports that are just walkable, depending what you want to do. You know, you may still want to go see something that would be an excursion, but yeah, Puerto Rico is one of those ones that they do have some things that I would like to see, but on the other end, I don't think I'll ever feel obligated to do an excursion in that one.
But then, and back to this story here, the next day we were in St. Thomas, and again, I had been to St. Thomas 20 years ago. It was absolutely beautiful. buddy of mine got married at Megan's Bay over on the other side of the mountain there from the port. Beautiful beach. Great place to go. Another excursion. We didn't have no problems last time. Now, this time, we got off the ship and my spidey senses just went up.
It was soon after the huge hurricane that took out a lot of that island, so it was definitely
that could be part of it. But even the cab drivers were almost pushing you into the back door. Let me take you here. Let me take you.
Didn't feel safe.
You know what? We walked around in town there, looked at some jewelry and stuff like that, and we were back on the ship pretty quick.
And next time, excursion. We'll be doing an excursion to a beach next time we're in that place.
And then, well, we went to St. Martin.
St. Martin.
And
we took a cab in St. Martin.
Yeah, we got brave and we took a cab.
I think St. Martin's a good one. That their port's a little bit different. That they really lock everything within the port. So everyone is vetted. That you're not getting your port out. You're not getting your cab outside of the confinements of the port. So it was a little bit different, and they were checking your passports in and out. They were very diligent of who you got in a cab with. So I felt a little bit more comfortable in St. Martin.
Yeah, we went clear across the island, went to, what was that, Princess Juliana Airport, where the planes come right over your head there on the beach.
Whatever the name of that beach is, yeah, it's really cool.
I think I had a Corona at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And, it was a good time. Buy a beer, you get to use their bathrooms for free. So it was all good. But see, those are just a few of the examples, and since then, we've learned so much cruising. And I'm going to use Nassau as an example. We've been to Nassau 6 times. I'm sick of it. I don't care for Nassau that much. It's beautiful. You don't want to wander off and go up 3 streets to the west and over the hill. Most cruise lines will warn you about that. But back to our 2017 cruise, we rented a cab and we went to that public beach over there by Atlantis. Absolutely beautiful.
But we didn't feel super safe.
No, we actually had them waterproof bags, and we put our passports in my wallet, our cruise cards, and we buried it into sand underneath our towel while we went out in the ocean. That's just kind of how we felt.
And I think that was a little bit of being newer cruisers on that one too, because I
might have
heard
been a little
some
exaggerated, but
it might have been. But I've heard people now say that beach is really fine and it's good. But we did also, when we were renting the chair, the guy was kind of heckling us, really pushing us to, spend more money, do this, and it that alone in itself just kind of made us feel uncomfortable. The beach was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So
for sure,
there is that.
You can see your feet in the water when you're waist deep out there. That's pretty cool. Then,
we walked around Atlantis a little bit. That was kind of cool.
Got kicked out.
We got kicked out of the beach part. There was the water part where you can't go. We didn't get kicked out. They just said, "Are you a hotel guest?" And we said no, and they said no. But you can, and you are allowed to walk around Atlantis and go to the casino and things like that. So it's something to explore. But yes, if you want to go to the beach park, not the beach park, the water park, you're paying for that. And it's not cheap. And I don't actually know if they're still offering day passes after COVID. But those are things we can always look out for later,
But then the next time we were there would have been on Meraviglia, right?
We've been there so many times.
Yeah, it gets a little bit confusing. And we booked an excursion to go to Balmoral Island. If you see that excursion, I'm going to tell you right now, just save your money. Don't even waste it. They've got dolphins, they've got turtles out there that you can go and swim with them, and they're confined in a little pen. It's just this little island. It stinks. I'm not going to lie to you.
We had a bad experience. There's been others that have had good experiences, and they're getting better. That was also right after COVID, so that was right after the restart. So everything we say, we have to say from our experience.
But we do have a video on that one, what not to do in Nassau, Bahamas, if you want to go back and check it out. I mean,
it was a rough excursion.
We laugh about it now. We laughed about it on the way back, how quick we got off the island and back to the ship.
But you know what? That one actually gives kind of a little tip. So we were on a really bad excursion, and it was, I don't know, we spent probably $300 to get there. And when we got there, it was even more. It was $20 for literally a hamburger, and that was the only thing on the menu. I'm not exaggerating. That was the only thing on the menu. It was a burger and a bag of chips, and I think it was $20. And we're like, we don't want this, because it was very unclean, and it wasn't something that we felt comfortable eating.
No.
And we would be there for probably the next 4 or 5 hours, and we were kind of like, well, what are we going to do? We're like stranded on this island. So come to find out, we were looking around. We knew everyone else there wasn't necessarily from our ship. It was a carnival excursion at the same time at the same place, and we just asked somebody. We're like, what time is your ship going back? And, you know, they told us. We went and looked at the sign. There was actually a sign that was up that said it, and come to find out, that ship was going back in about 25 minutes. So we actually went up to the people, and they were polite about it, nice about it. We weren't asking for anything. We didn't want a refund. We just wanted to go back to the ship. We wanted to kind of wash our hands with it and be done with it. So anyway, we politely told them, you know, asked them, you know, is there any chance we can go back with the other excursion and just go back to our ship and just cut our losses, call it a day? And they were like, oh, well, I don't know, we'll see. And I said, well, politely, I'm just going to tell you that we're going to go back with the carnival excursion. So sometimes if something like that happens and you're in an uncomfortable situation, just being polite, saying, hey, this just isn't for us, but we kind of need to go.
Be mindful of your surroundings, and sometimes there might be a way out, and you can get back to your cruise ship.
We considered it our loss, and it was fine, and it was fine.
Yeah, we didn't want anything in return. It was just bad experience. Won't do it again.
Right.
But then when we were there on Carnival Liberty, we walked over to Margaritaville.
And that was wonderful.
That was great. And we had footage of the two of us jumping off of an 11-foot rock wall. The food was very good.
Expensive.
It was kind of pricey. So were the drinks, not going to lie to you.
But quality.
Yes. What else did we do? They had a lazy
they had
river.
everything. That was so much fun. That was such a fun
it was
day.
a blast. We had... I had great videos of the place, and then long story short, we went through the airport, and I think the x-ray machine might have done something to my SD card, and we lost all of it. That would have been so cool.
We'll go back.
We'll definitely go back. But I want to say that was, what, about $110 a piece?
Oh, I don't think it was that much. I think it was maybe 80 at best.
Yeah,
it really wasn't very expensive.
It was a 10-minute walk from the ship, and we had a great time.
Yeah, it was good.
Other than that, Nassau, we really haven't...
No, typically Nassau, it's funny because we always say we're not going to get off the ship. And you're going to see that in all of the Facebook and the groups of what's the best excursion at Nassau. And there's always the joke of don't get off the ship. You're always going to see that. Which ironically, we always say that too. But we always tend to need cash by the time we end up in Nassau. So we always have to get off to go to the ATM.
Run up to that ATM there, 2nd Street, take a right.
It's the 2nd Street. You just run out there. It's right there. It's Bank of Nova Scotia, or I don't remember what it's called, but there's a bank.
Costs you $8.
You go there. So that's typically our excursion in Nassau anymore, is doing that. But that kind of puts another suggestion too, is if it's a port that you don't like, don't feel obligated to get off the ship, because those are the great days we're on the ship. And number one, there's not going to be a lot of people on the ship, so you kind of get the ship a lot more empty. But also, the spa will run specials, sometimes specialty dining run specials. So if there's something that you're trying to check out, maybe you want to get a massage or a facial or something like that, but the price is a little high, you might actually get a good deal on the ship those days. So
you don't like waiting in the line at the water slides? That's your day right there.
That's your day to do it.
The last 2 times we didn't get off the ship, and it was pretty well empty. We had the whole thing to ourselves for the most part, and you know what? That's fine with me.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's an extra sea day.
What else here? What else can we recommend? Oh, Cozumel.
Cozumel.
Our absolute favorite port there is. So the first time you and I went to Cozumel, that would have been on Meraviglia. That was our 4-day. We were actually supposed to do Ocean Key and Nassau, but Ocean Key wasn't ready yet.
Oh, we did an excursion.
And, yeah. So
because we didn't know what to do in Cozumel.
No, we had never been there before.
It was a change of port, so we didn't have anything planned. We weren't expecting to go there, so that's when it is really great sometimes to book a ship excursion, because you know you're safe.
And once again, this is well before we were YouTubers. So yeah, you booked us on that National Geographic snorkeling tour.
And a beach day at Playa Mia.
Yeah, that was an absolute blast.
We had so much fun.
I mean, just the waters down there, if you've never done it before.
It's so pretty. And that was, sometimes that's the other maybe tip, is sometimes when you do have an amazing excursion, Cozumel's not everyone's favorite port, but for us it is. Mm-hmm. And it may be just because of that we've never had a bad experience in Cozumel. And it might just be because, our first time there we had so much fun. We loved it. So it just made it a port that we really enjoy going to now. Have we ever gone to the same place twice? We're starting to run out of places to go to, so we're going to have to start go back.
We'll find more. Don't worry.
We're going to have to start going back to some of the
There's
ones.
plenty of bars along that beach.
Yeah,
But
worry
yeah,
about
I'm
that. But
just going to give you one quick warning here. If you do take that National Geographic snorkeling excursion, watch out for the rum punch afterwards. Those guys serve it to you left and right. It keeps coming. You're not even done with your glass, and you got another full one yet. And you know what? They're pretty good. But yeah, then we went over to Playa Mia. Got some real authentic Mexican food there at the buffet.
good.
Nice beach area. We relaxed a little bit. Drinks were included in that, weren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, they were.
Everyone we've gone to has been included.
And then we got back on that little boat. They took us back over to the port. Again, they were serving the rum punch. And you remember the last warning. Needless to say, we were walking sideways when we got back into port.
You were.
So were you. Let's see, what else? Cozumel.
Cozumel, I would probably, to keep, without us going too many different directions, Cozumel is very well known for day resorts. There's a ton of them. We have plenty of videos on them, so we won't bore you with all the different details, but look them up. We've got a couple of the different ones, but they're all kind of the same. They have different personalities. Your price is going to be anywhere from, I've seen them as low as $35 that don't include anything as far as drink and alcohol, up to the most expensive ones probably $150. And that's about where you're at. So again, watch our other videos of some of the different ones. YouTube, there's plenty of them out there. We're actually hitting another one this summer that we haven't been to yet. So check them out, kind of check out the different personalities, you see which one fits the best for you, but they all kind of include the same thing, but they have a different feel. No matter what, it's going to be beautiful because Cozumel is just a pretty place.
But if you want good food, go to Nachikokum.
Nachikokum was good. There's still plenty more. Another thing to consider in Cozumel, this is one I would highly recommend doing a ship excursion for, is if you want to go see the ruins. The ruins from Cozumel is going to be a good 8-hour excursion. It is something we haven't done yet. Something I really high on the list really want to do. But it's a ferry ride across, and it's in addition to then you have a bus drive to get there. So it's a couple hours of traveling to get there. Go see the ruins. It's supposed to be amazing. But that's one of those things. If a bus breaks down, if a ferry doesn't get on time, and you're not on a ship excursion, you're at a chance of missing a ship. So,
and at that point, the ship is obligated to wait on you because you booked through the cruise line.
Because then they'll know that obviously there's more than just you. So they will wait for you. And those are the excursions that I would, if you see something that's going to be an 8-9 hour, including some travel time, just be safe and book it through the ship. Yes, have travel insurance. That's going to help you if you didn't, but I don't know. Some people don't, they want to save the money on it, but typically you'll find those excursions might be $100 to $150. They're not terribly, I guess that's my personal thing. I wouldn't save $25-50 for that peace of mind. I mean, that's just me.
And one thing I can say in Cozumel, I've never felt in danger. I've always felt safe.
You're very friendly.
Most of them do speak some broken English. I speak some broken Spanish, so we can all get along. There's cab drivers right outside the port. Mm-hmm. They know the day resorts. They'll get you there. And the nice thing, too, is at the end of the day, they pretty well know around about what times the ships are supposed to leave. So there'll be like 5 or 6 cabs sitting there waiting. The guys at the day resort, they'll wave to somebody, a cab will come up, you tell them which port you're at in Cozumel, because there are 2, and they'll get you there.
Yeah. They prefer cash in Cozumel. That's
right.
A little tip on Cozumel. Some take card. It's not that if you have a card you're gonna get deserted, but a lot of them prefer cash in Cozumel.
Here's my question to you, because I had never heard of Nachikokum or Mr. Sancho's prior to doing anything. Where did you actually stumble across them or find them?
Facebook groups and YouTube. Facebook groups is something I do a lot of. Anytime I'm going on a new ship, even with us being experienced cruisers, we cruise a lot. even when it's a ship that I've been on and an itinerary I've been on, same sailings type things, I'll find the ship. I find the cruise line, find that, you know, group page, whatever it is. There's almost always a Facebook group for that ship. You'll find inside information on that because a lot of these ships run the same itineraries, you know, and they'll do 2 or 3 different itineraries. So that's a great place to ask questions to other people of, hey, we're going to Dominican Republic. What you know, what's a great one? We're going to be at this port or whatever it is. So I start feeding it out through that, and you'll get a lot of opinions on those. And then we obviously just resort to YouTube. We may be YouTubers, but we watch YouTube every single cruise we've ever taken, every port we've ever gone to. We are watching so many different videos, and we don't watch just one. We watch multiple because everyone has different personalities and different
usually
opinions.
it's as many as we can find. We'll watch them before we even get on the ship.
But then also with the sailings, on back to Facebook, many times you'll find there's the 2 things. We've done these before. What's that one website that has the roll calls? Cruise Critic. Cruise Critic has roll calls, which is kind of like a chat forum, and it'll be for your sailing. They host some parties and stuff, so that's kind of fun. But then many, many times you'll find a Facebook group for your specific sailing. And, you know, someone at the beginning, it's usually an experienced cruiser, will start that group. And it's a private group, and you just kind of talk and, oh, where are you going? Where you're going? So those are sometimes one of the ones when you're kind of going off the beaten path. Sometimes you will find people like, hey, we're all going to go to Nachikokum. Do you want to split a taxi? You can do that. So sometimes that's nice too. Or, you know, where are we going here? We're going to Grand Cayman in the next couple months. And we've heard that since there was the last storm, 7 Mile Beach has been completely changed than from what anyone knows. So we've been asking a lot of people, hey, do we go to the beach? Do we don't go to the beach? Do we plan an excursion? We still haven't quite decided ourselves, just because everything we know about that port has now changed. So Facebook, YouTube, social media is always a great place to find things.
Yeah, and I think the one thing too, and I noticed this when we were on Virgin last April, you and I had gone to Mr. Sancho's that day, and it was our anniversary. Mm-hmm. You booked a scuba diving excursion for us right there at Mr. Sancho's. So there are other things that you can do there.
Oh, yeah.
That was an absolute blast.
Yeah.
We got back to the ship, and her and I went up to the deck there, got in the one pool, and we were just chilling out. And out of the blue came this couple about our age, and they said, hey, what'd you guys do today? Well, we went to Mr. Sancho's. I had a couple drinks. Next thing you know, I got scuba gear on my back. Oh, were you certified in scuba? You don't have to be in Mexico. No, I wasn't. We went over there to the tiki hut, got the crash course, and next thing you know, they're dumping us off in the water. And we lived to tell about it. And both their jaws just dropped because they had booked an excursion through Virgin, which I hear are just very, very good excursions.
Virgin is one, and we'll digress. Virgin is one that I do highly recommend their excursions. Many reasons why is they don't do the traditional commercialized excursions. They work with local vendors. And when those local vendors are working with Virgin, they're not allowed to work with other people. Just for that sailing when you're there. They don't ban you forever. With that said, their prices tend to be much more competitive than a lot of the other lines. They don't have a huge markup from them. They're very unique, very different, and very well put together.
Yeah, and the whole cool part is this couple, they said, well, where do you guys find this stuff? And she got to talking, and it came out that we were YouTubers, and no kidding, right there on the pool deck, they both subscribed to us, and they're like, we're going to keep an eye on you guys. We want to see things that we can do here in the next few ports. That's really cool. That sounds like an absolute blast, and it was. And I don't know, back to her Virgin comments, though, the one thing I noticed about Virgin, you are in port so much longer than you are on the other cruise lines.
Yeah.
That was cool because we were in Cozumel, 10 a.m. to midnight or something?
We were there.
Oh, it was
we
crazy.
got to see there's a video on it. We got a parade that was actually for the locals. We were the only ship left. So it was like their homecoming type Mardi Gras party. and we got to experience that with the locals.
Carnival.
And it was great because the locals were telling us about it. Are you sticking around for the parade? Are you guys going to see it? And we're like, what are you guys talking about? And it was amazing. It was so much fun to kind of...
Best parade we've ever seen.
Yeah. But it was cool to kind of be able to... That's some of the things when you're a really long time in a port, you do get to kind of learn the... You get a little bit more of the culture of where you're at, which is nice because some of the ports are commercialized. Cozumel's definitely commercialized. I mean, 85% of the revenue from that island comes from tourism. With that said, 100% of those people are on that island a lot, if not completely live there. So you're walking into their home, so you may be a tourist, but they're happy to show you their home and what they do, and it's wonderful to be able to experience that.
Oh, I went up to some gentleman right on the street. I had a beer in my hand that I'd purchased down the road from some locals, and I started talking to him in Spanish, and he looks at me and he goes, "Where are you from?"
Yeah.
Starts talking to me in English, and I could tell because I probably get my verbs mixed up in Spanish. He was getting his verbs mixed up in English, but we were able to figure it out. Cool people. I mean, it was an absolute blast.
We had a blast.
But yeah, we left there and we had another day at sea, and then we hit Bimini, Bahamas, and that was one of those places that was on my bucket list because I've watched all those videos of the crossing from Lauderdale over to Bimini and stuff like that. And she had been snooping around looking for some excursions, and I got off that boat and I said, I know what I want to do. We got on the tram, we ran over to dude's cousin or whatever, and we rented a golf cart. It was $80 a day. Not that
big
of an
Which I've heard
island.
you can negotiate much lower.
Oh, it was
just saying we got
it was totally worth it though. We hopped on this golf cart. We're driving down the middle of the street like it's just a normal car here in America, and went through town. I saw all the stuff that I previously seen on YouTube. We drove that thing all the way down to the dead end till you can't go no further. And we got pictures of this beach that you can't even imagine that it exists.
It's like the locals beach there, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And you know what? Probably next time I might do that again. I don't know.
I might do that again. I'd get a golf cart again.
Yeah.
There's not a ton to do on Bimini, but it's a beautiful, beautiful
There's
island.
snorkeling and scuba diving.
There's excursions and things to do, and there's also that big game club I think where you can snorkel.
I think next time I'm going to try some of the food, but yeah, I want to go all the way back down to that beach again on the golf court. I'm taking the GoPro. I'm jumping in the water. I'm snorkeling around them rocks, around that little shipwreck there. That Sankofa shipwreck's out there too. You probably take an excursion.
Yeah, I would like to do that actually.
Yeah,
and there's a
cool.
shark. I know Virgin has it, and I'm sure some other ones have it too. There's a shark excursion where they take you to the shipwreck, and then there's another spot where apparently there's just hundreds and hundreds of nurse sharks, and you can jump in with them. And some people are terrified doing it, but people say it is one of those like life-altering excursions that it's just that cool. So that's one of the ones I'd like to do.
For sure. So yeah, we're gonna start winding this down here. Just yeah, if you're an inexperienced cruiser or first time, definitely look at the excursions that the cruise line offers. We gave you an example of a couple ports here. We're going to be hitting some more here this summer and soon, and we'll make videos on it. Keep an eye out for us. If you could, hit that subscribe button right down there below you. We are at... Where are we at here?
Another thing too, if you are looking outside excursions, you can find a lot of them on Expedia.com. I think Travelocity might have some too. So there are other places that you can book excursions. Just you don't have the safety of making sure you get back, but get back on time. And sometimes they are just a little bit different. Not everyone loves the commercialized excursions, so I get that.
We're at 996 subscribers right now.
Nice.
These next 4.
Right. Well, hopefully by the time this video goes out, we'll be past that. So
yeah, if you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, smack the like. If you've got questions, comments, concerns, throw them in there. We will
please
answer
put them
you
in the
back.
chat.
Yeah, definitely. We're here to help, and
we don't pretend that we know everything. So we're open to new. If you've got a great tip, a great suggestion, put it in the comments. That's what we're here for. We've done a lot of cruisings. We haven't done them all.
No.
If
you've been on a good excursion, let us know.
Tell us, because we'll check it out.
For sure.
We're always looking for new things to do.
So yeah, we'll be bringing some more videos to you guys real soon, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
I